Hey guys, so I've decided to give a little Q and A Monday session a try. I get so many comments and questions like on Twitter and stuff that I kind of just don't have time to answer them all. So I've decided I'm gonna sort of compile them over the weekend and do a little video to post on the Monday as a kind of question and answer session. So if you have any extra questions or anything like that, do let me know and I will try to answer them in these videos. I'm not sure if it'll be every week, but I will, I will post them from time to time and hopefully give you guys a little bit of clarity. Hopefully be able to answer some of the questions that have been burning in your mind. Now this doesn't come from anybody specific, but a lot of you are asking if I've ever used a Ouija board, and as far as I'm aware, I've never touched one. The things frighten me. I have told people on Twitter before that just the very idea of them kind of freaks me out. It's too much of an invitation for something to happen. I don't know, like something that's already there, trying to communicate with that's one thing, but actually using a Ouija board, that actually, so I've read, it kind of opens up a doorway for these things to continue, and you can accidentally invite other spirits and entities into your home. So no, I've not really used one. I'm fairly certain no one in my family has, or at least hasn't in recent years when this all began. So it's, yeah, no, afraid I haven't. Sorry about that. Toast702 asks, have you ever done a history search on the place you live in? Might be something you want to check into. I have, actually. When this all began, I pretty much lived on a council estate. It wasn't too glamorous, it wasn't too old. I checked the local papers, I checked the library, I did an internet search, and the actual house, even the neighbourhood itself, had never really had anything particularly strange, any deaths or anything like that. The most unnatural thing we had some like renowned killer actually hung around at the end of the estate, and there was a big police escapade, but actually nobody died, so no, not really. I've looked into it, but nothing really came up. Ash Hall asks, do you see any of these orbs by the naked eye? How do you manage to live with this? No, I don't really see the orbs sort of physically. I have in the past, but usually it's not like, sometimes you get a sort of strange sort of mist kind of forms, and I have been filming sometimes and seen something with my eye and then had to check the footage afterwards. So it is possible, but generally it's just the camera picks them up. I guess mainly because the camera has the infrared light on it, and it's that's kind of manipulating whatever it is that's there. I guess full spectrum tend to pick it up more than infrared, but still it does happen, but generally not so much. And as for the second part of your question, how do I manage to live with it? I don't really know, to be honest. I tell you guys on a video basis kind of how I feel about it all, and most of the time it's just a matter of getting used to it. It's like I described to one guy, it's like living with a really noisy housemate, a housemate that might be a complete dick, but you can't help but just plod on. There's not a lot you can do about it. Yeah, you kind of just get used to it for the most part. TNT Primed asks, have you ever managed to estimate its height? Now, this was on one of the videos on the night vision in the loft, so I assume it was kind of spawned by the fact that it's quite a cramped space up there, and so that it begs the question, how tall is this thing, I guess, how big is it? But to my understanding, I don't think it really follows the same kind of rules. It's been tall. Like some of the apparitions I've caught, they appear quite large. Like there was a point in part 6 where you saw the shadowy apparition move across my bedroom, and the amount it actually had to lean down in order to to kind of get into my face like it did. It was quite substantial, so this thing was obviously quite tall, but at the same time it was seen in the loft, so it's possible it just crouched down, but it's also possible that it doesn't have a specific height. Maybe it's shape-shifting in some way. I don't know. No, not really thought about estimating its height too much. I just kind of see it as being everywhere and doing whatever the bloody hell it wants, to be honest. Kevin Ostrowski says, "What a dick." I've got nothing. Cheers, I guess. Doppelganger asks, "Did you ever find the lost jewellery?" For any of you that don't know, the jewellery is referring to is some that was lost during the first 3 videos, right before I moved away to uni. Basically, there was a situation where this activity had gone quiet and more or less nothing was happening in a similar way it is now. The only thing we could find was that there was some jewellery we misplaced, couldn't find anywhere, and I wasn't necessarily sure that that was a paranormal thing, but they'd just gone. We couldn't find them for the life of us. And as for finding it, we did actually. Like, as I went to uni and then came back, my family had basically moved to another house while I was away. And when I came back to that house, the jewellery did show up. It showed up when they moved. So whether that was a actual paranormal occurrence or if it had literally just been misplaced, I'm not sure, but it did show up eventually. Pete Cozy asks, "Have you ever noticed something teleported?" He goes on to explain that basically it means like the last instance, the jewellery situation, where it was there and then it just kind of wasn't, no real reason for it. It's the best example I've got of it, so I will explain it in more detail. Basically, my mum keeps jewellery in a jewellery box, always has done, but this particular jewellery had not been worn for a long while, but it's something she did look after, something she'd had for a while, and it just vanished. Like, we don't know if it was misplaced, actually picked up and taken somewhere, or if like my sister had used it or whatever, but we couldn't find it, and it actually showed up in a box when they moved house. I wasn't around at the time, but that's when they found it, so there's that. Okay, so that's it for this video, guys. I hope I was able to clarify a few things for you. I know I didn't get around to answering many, but the video is going to end up quite long if I just keep answering them. So I will try to do another one of these soon. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments on this video or any other, on Twitter, wherever. I'll make note of them all, and I will try to add them into the next Q and A session I do. Yeah, thanks for watching.